All right, go ahead. Close your eyes. Get comfortable. Let's do this. Guys, you have to see this movie. This came out 20 years ago. It's called Austin Powers. Ah, drop your shoulders, relax your body. What a great moment to get to be alive. You have the opportunity to be sitting still, meditating, voluntarily, manually evolving. So we get to evolve by life dragging us, or we get to choose to evolve, face our own stuff, and grow. I think that's what it means to be a real adult, to take responsibility, energetic, spiritual responsibility. So be honest, look at ourselves, and decide we want to shift, heal, and grow. So I commend you for being here to do that. And if you're just here for the jokes, those were my best ones. You can go now. Take a deep breath, fill in your belly like a balloon, stretch out those nerve endings. Relax your body. Draw your awareness behind your eyes, right into the center of your head. And I want you to start by turning the lights on in the center of your head. See what's there. Look around. What does the room in the center of your head look like today? Is it full of stuff? Is it empty? Is it dark? Do you need to light some candles, turn more lights on? Get a sense of the center of your head for a moment, and I want you to own the center of your head, energetically speaking. This is your space, this is your place. If there are other people in here, if there's a lot of noise, I want you to just take a seat right in the center of your room and just take command. Start to shift the energy. If you need to shift any of the furniture, make it bigger, smaller, just start to own this space. Make sure you're breathing. It's very easy to go unconscious if you yawn. That's normal. That means the energy is coming out. I would yawn 20, 30, 50 times in the beginning of a meditation like this. That's a good sign. It means you're sensitive and the energy is coming out. If you're a burper, if you sneeze, if you twitch, it's all good. If you feel energy, it's coming out. Maybe you've been holding on to too much. Too many people's energy is coming out. If you need to clean house a little bit, shift this room, do it. Enlightenment can be a very sleepy affair. We're going to take a journey in this meditation into the unconscious and see what's there. And before we go, I want to preface it by saying that the unconscious may look like, feel like more of a dream space. It may use images, analogies, almost like dreamy, moving pictures. And that's totally okay. That's how it communicates. It communicates more through imagery, maybe words, feelings, less through direct thought. So, what I'd like you to do from the center of your head is you can get up in that room, you turn around, and you notice that there's kind of like a secret uh, staircase that opens up on the floor to go down and back into your unconscious. Like, wow, this trap door just opened out of nowhere, and there's this staircase here. But I want you to make sure you take a light. So maybe you take it like a tiki torch of some kind or a lamp. And I want you to walk down there into your unconscious. And for our purposes in this meditation tonight, today, it's okay if part of the way you experience your unconscious is almost like as you come down into this space, it might be a bit dark. And it might be a little bit like it's like a liquid, maybe going up to kind of like your ankles. You can't really see through it. Not that it's necessarily murky, but there's kind of a barrier. Maybe there's some waves, maybe very still. And it's okay if this space is a bit darker than the room upstairs. It's not used to as much light. We're not going to force the light onto it. So it might have a bit of a twilight feel or a little bit darker. But as a meditator that's awakening, you're learning to see in the dark. You close your physical eyes and you can still see. That's what you're mastering here. Give yourself permission. It's okay to start to see. So you take a look around, and I want you to notice if there is kind of one energy that starts to arise that your unconscious wants you to focus on. And if it helps, what you can do is kind of lean down into the water, both hands, and pick up like a big bubble. It's a special kind of one. It's it's pretty big. Kind of hold it in your arms, hold it in your hands with two hands, and put it in front of you. Maybe you just feel and sense the energy here. So there's something in your unconscious that is wanting you to take a look at. You just kind of pull it up and you start to peer into this bubble. It's not your enemy. This is part of you. This is something you're working on. It may be something to heal, perhaps something to understand, or just to become aware of. At first, you may have no idea what it is, and you just need to sit with it for a moment, look at it, hold it. One of the things about going into the unconscious is we almost have to be a little bit invited, and we want to be gentle. This is a sacred space, it's a sensitive space, and so you're being sensitive here. You're being perceptive. And nobody gets to come with you into this space. It's just for you. No family, no friends, no teachers, nobody. There's no right or wrong answers here. It's just for you. So perhaps there's something here that you're becoming more aware of, you're awakening to, some energy, some answer that you want to integrate. Maybe it's been in your unconscious long enough, and it's time to bring it up into the light, heal it, understand it, and integrate it. You may be surprised, like, wow, I can't believe how long this has been down here. Or it's fascinating. Or perhaps you don't want to look at it. It may pertain to a pattern, some kind of behavior, an addiction, a fear, something that confuses you. And then the question arises, well, once I understand what it is, or I start to get a sense, even if it's just a vague sense, what do I do with it? I want you to just hold it in your hands. Perhaps your hands even kind of give it, this bubble, some kind of healing. What would it be like for the energy of acceptance to come through your hands and touch this? Our unconscious tends to be a very emotionally centered space. You may communicate through feelings. So if there's any feelings that need to arise, need to process and move, this is a great opportunity to allow them to. Any judgment in the unconscious will take this energy back down deeper. You have to invite it out with acceptance and compassion. And if you're in resistance to having acceptance and compassion, like I can't accept this or have compassion, then have acceptance and compassion for the part of you that can't accept it and have compassion. Have the have compassion for the part of you that's in resistance to even looking at it or feeling it. You may have all different kinds of perceptions here. Some of you may be experiencing the whole room of your unconscious, kind of getting downloads of, wow, this whole space is fascinating. Where I've been suppressing so much fear down here because I can't handle it all up there at once. I want you to almost allow yourself to be fascinated. As you're working on whatever this is, perhaps you have an awareness that even though this is individual for you, it's personal, that there's a collective aspect as well. So if there's a layer or a level of fear you're releasing, that's kind of connected to the collective of humanity. All of humanity is working on releasing this fear or limitation or confusion or understanding and wisdom, harnessing it, whatever it is. So there is a personal aspect to this energy and a collective human aspect to this energy. You may sense there's a genetic aspect, a familial aspect of some kind. Perhaps for thousands of years, a certain pain or a certain energy has been passed down through the men or the women in your family. And as you're doing this work, I want you to have an appreciation for how special it is for you to be here doing this work. Perhaps your lineage in your family, in your tribe, has waited thousands of years for there to be enough safety, enough time for you to evolve enough to come to this place to heal this energy, to break the chain of pain, of limitation, of suffering. You are the tip of the spear now. And you're doing it for yourself and for everyone that comes after you. You may have to teach a lesson to the last 1,000 generations. Look, you don't have to hold on to this. I won't. As you hold this bubble in your hands, perhaps any like murky water or like emotional energies can start to come off of it. Maybe you start to have more clarity. You can see into it more clearly. Perhaps there's an energy and a color in there that starts to form of some kind of wisdom. Perhaps your lineage of people survived for thousands of years and beyond, so that finally somebody could be born in a place and a time where they could do this work. It may be intense to notice this much energy. It may be intense to recognize kind of the collective suffering of humanity or fear. but you are worthy of the task and you are capable, more than capable, of looking at whatever your unconscious wants to show you today and healing and working through it. You are more than capable of integrating any wisdom that's here for you. If you weren't, it wouldn't be coming up and you wouldn't be here. Let the pain, if you're having any, come out. Let any of those psychic knots unravel and open. Let your heart start to open. And can you, before we finish, almost strengthen, deepen your relationship with your unconscious into a more kind of loving partnership? Like, I will deposit wisdom and experience here as much as I can. And whenever I need an answer or help, you will be here for me on the conscious side. Maybe you will speak to me through my dreams or through words that just pop up in my mind or images or feelings. You will look out for me and I will look out for you. You are the collective embodiment of the human spirit and the ocean of unconsciousness that you sit on top of, that your awareness exists on, is here to serve you. It's not here to punish you, and it's not here just to be a receptacle for the pain you don't want to experience or to deal with. It is here to serve you. Allow it to do its job. You don't have to be in charge all the time or be controlling everything. When your unconscious wants to give you wisdom, let it. When it wants to show you something you're suppressing, let it. So what we're creating tonight is like a good channel of communication, a good relationship. When you're ready, you can take this bubble, whatever you've been looking at working, put it back in the water. Perhaps it kind of drops down, disappears. Get a sense of this entire space. It's got almost like a twilight energy to it, when after the sun sets or before it rises, just right at that moment. It has a sacredness to it. And perhaps it's infinite. We may have no idea where it begins and ends. When you're ready, you can turn around with your candle or your torch, your lamp, whatever it is. If you put it down, pick it back up. And let's walk back up those steps. Back into the center of your head. Perhaps it's a bit brighter here. If you want to close the door behind you, underneath you, however you experience it. Don't worry that the door can have like a biometric system. Only your fingerprints will open it, or a scan of your eyes, or perhaps a scan of your heart. Ah, yes, he, she, they have good intentions right now. Door will open. Take a seat in the center of your head. One more deep breath. When you're ready, allow yourself to feel like there's more of you. Before you open your eyes, notice that there's just more of you. I take singing lessons, and my teacher once told me I was singing with like 10% of my voice. It was too high. I wasn't using all of me. As you build this bridge to your unconscious and have a relationship with it, you're going to start using more of you and realizing there's more of you. There's actually an infinite ocean of wisdom and energy right below your awareness that's here to serve you. Notice that there's just more of you. And you know what it's like to be human. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. It's not sinful. You're just human. When you're ready, you can open those human eyes, put a smile on that beautiful human face, enjoy this special short life that we all get to share with each other. And you can go back to trolling someone on the internet, or you can spend your time wisely. It's entirely up to you. Thank you so, so much. I hope that as we heal the unconscious in each of ourselves, perhaps we can start to heal the collective unconscious. And maybe one day as a species, we'll wake up out of fighting war and out of hurting each other. But until that day comes, which it has in some places, maybe, but until that day comes, we will continue to do the work.